What's funny comedy?
Yo, you not in our lane, so quit acting like we rockin' the same. What's funny comedy podcast? Are you not entertained? It's time to man up. My live people, put your hands up. From improvisations to stand up, we band up. These haters overheated. We going undefeated. Sit downs and live interviews. It's what the culture needed. A new monopoly for black comedy.
Hey, what's going on, family? I'm Mindy B of the What's Funny Today show. Might be a different intro, but the promo is always the same, man. You know, we've been providing y'all with the latest and last urban comedy. It's been hard work, diligent work, and we're so thankful for you, our audience, for tapping in with us all season long, man. If you are just tuning in with us, this has been season 3. It's been a blast. We've been having a ball, but we want y'all to stay locked and loaded with us, family. Today, we're going to be peeling back the curtains on season 3, providing you with all our favorite moments, all our favorite guests, maybe what we can even do better, and a sneak peek of season 4. So today is a cast-only set, y'all. This is a private session. So as always, my cast is the guest today. I'm going to introduce them one by one very quickly and provide my personal thank you. And there's a reason we always start this show with this gentleman on the left. He's put this whole band together, right? He's putting the reins on Chicago comedy, writing all the checks, all of it, hired all the employees. But if it wasn't for him, none of us would really be sitting in these seats, and a lot of comedians would say the same. So from me to you, from us to you, Knowledge, big thank you.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Mindy, and appreciate everybody for checking us out. It's been a good run. I think we've done 31 episodes, so congrats.
Man.
All within a calendar year, I think in 11 months, and we've had some of the best of the best. So I'm looking forward to this episode and chopping it up and just talk about season 3.
Facts. Me too. I just love y'all, man. This guy right here, Sean, man, from me to you, from us to you, man, you are brilliant. You are
Facts.
So smart. You are so fly. You are so talented. It's also a reason that you have been in that seat.
Damn, no, go ahead. I'm tripping.
It was too much gas.
I'm tripping.
It's a reason you in that seat. I
Facts.
hope you know that. Shoot, ain't nobody asked where I was, and nobody asked where Knowledge was at too. But you know, they looking for you, man. And just remember that 25 years for a reason. We call you raw because you can undress it and unfilter it like nobody else can.
Indeed.
I appreciate
So
that.
that's Comic Sean. We love you, man.
Oh man, Sean, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
I come all the way down here
everything else don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man.
New
Season
shit,
3, new vibe. Man, the comedy girlfriend is in the building, man. She been killing this content creator scene, man. Just go to the page
Indeed.
at J Will. You'll see she is officially, really a comedy girlfriend, giving y'all the rundown week by week. And remember, y'all, this is for y'all. This is for the comics. So season 3 has elevated that to a whole nother level up, y'all. So let's give it up for J. Nicole, the comedy girlfriend is in the building.
Thank you guys for having me today.
Of course.
It's gonna be fun. So y'all, let's just clap it up for season 3.
And don't trip, we got to give it back to you, Mindy. You know what I'm saying? I think
ma'am.
Mindy has steered the ship since the beginning. She's been on the team since the beginning, but season 3, shown up, shown out. You may be the illest on the intros in the pod space. And so we super respect that, super respect your attention to just the comedy space. We're trying to put something together special that speaks to comedians, but then also brings in fans from all across the world that want to understand Black comedy, Black culture, and you're leading the ship. So we appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, let's clap it
Give it
up.
up for Mindy.
I appreciate that.
And you
big
got
time.
the pink New York joint on.
Man,
you
we
matching
be
one of the
doing
pink colors
stuff,
I got
don't
on.
we?
So
That ain't the first time we've done that. Yeah, but it's, we connected like that. I love you, man. I love all y'all. So I want to get into season 3. I do. I really do. I can't wait. But I mean, can I just ask, did anybody watch the Dave Chappelle special, man? The Unstoppable Nigga Act.
I did.
Did y'all watch that?
I did. I checked it out. Obviously, it was a surprise drop. Like, wasn't even looking for it. And I caught the tail end of the Jake Paul hustle, and this shit hustle. Man, I got paid so much money. Ready to get my jaw broken this week. Pull up.
If it wasn't for skin, his jaw would have fell off. It's crazy.
Dang.
It broke on both sides. If it wasn't for skin.
Man. I need to get some dental work done anyway.
Yeah,
Nigga.
right.
So, nigga out here with a hot
$92 million to get your jaw broken. It's crazy.
yeah, man. Yeah. So
Oh my God. The
so
visual.
yeah, it dropped, and I checked it out. What was that? Friday night. I checked it out Friday night, and I'm a Chappelle fan, and I know Chappelle's come up over the course of our 3 seasons. But when I finished up, the one word even before funny that I thought about was like, this motherfucker's brilliant, and it's a brilliant piece of work. And I think at my elevated age at this point, I try to look at what's the project, what are you trying to say through the project, which is why we spend so much attention on how we put this podcast together. But I was like, damn, from the intro to the joint getting going like that, it's hard to bring energy through the TV. But I felt like even him coming to the stage and just the cheering audience and shit, it was, you always get a bit of that, but it was like, damn, I could feel that energy that they have for him. And then he goes through his set, and then, which is brilliant. And then even at the end, I'm like, damn, I had to Shazam what the song was at the end. Cause I'm like, it's smooth, it's ill, it's Stevie Wonder. But I'm like, damn, this guy, is this early Stevie? Cause I don't hear the sauce, but it's just so. And then the pictures he's dropping, like you could see, like for him, he wants this to be a time capsule. So when you look back 40 years from now, like who was popping during that time, you saw all these pictures. And I was even tripping. He showed the picture of Diddy, then he scanned over to Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
But it was just like from top to bottom, like the man put together what I'm calling like a piece of art, right?
Man,
and I think I was talking
so
to Sean,
artistic.
I was like, just recent Nas and DJ Premier shit, like judge it how you want, but they putting together art.
Man.
It ain't just really an album. And so as cats get to certain levels and age, I'll pay to see motherfuckers putting art together. And that's what I thought it was. So yeah, that was my takeaway from the Chappelle special.
It was incredible.
How about you? Did you check it out?
I checked it out.
Okay.
I checked it out. I mean, like for me, so I remember you called me out in a couple episodes back, like how many specials do you watch?
Facts.
So I got your point though. The point was like growing up as a kid, like not even as a kid, I say it like in my 20s. I watch Jamie Foxx, I Might Need Security. Me and her, like over and over and over. Your other point was, okay, you're on the show, you around different things, but like ultimately the bigger names, the Earthquakes, I watched. What was Martin's special when he had on the brown leather outfit?
Run Tell That.
Run Tell That. Like those are the specials that I watched. And so this brought me back there. It was deep. It was truly about the unstoppable niggas. And it's like, he's the only one that everybody is a nigga. You a nigga, no matter where what audience, he get away with it. And he has captured so many different audiences and to fill that arena. You look to the front, you look to the back, you look to the side, you look over here, and it was people. And he was super relaxed. He had his cigarette, he had his drink, and he told that story like nobody could. And you watched it like you was watching a movie. It was like the Kendrick of comedy.
Yeah.
You know how Kendrick can talk about history and still roast you while giving you historical facts. Like that's what he was doing. He was dropping out because like Jack Johnson, I was a little asleep.
No doubt.
I was a little asleep. And he gave me that history and he made me laugh at the same time. I was blown away. I actually watched it twice in the same day. I thought it was amazing.
Same.
I thought it was amazing.
Jay.
You watch it?
Yes, brilliant. I have to say that. I like a comedian that is a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you exactly what's going on in the world. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because ain't nothing funny that's going on in the world right now. But
That's
like, I
crazy.
love a comedian that can tell a story and make it funny, and he's speaking his truth. So yeah, that's my take on it. I love it.
Dig it, dig it. And for
The ladies love it.
for our audience that is just getting introduced to you, Jay, I'm a big scale dude, right? So let's say prior to What's Funny Today, What's Funny Comedy kind of coming into the family fold here, on a scale of 1 to 10, which means 1, your comedy fandom, right? 1, highest is a 10. Where would you put your comedy fandom before you've kind of gotten involved with what we're doing?
That's a good question.
Honestly and transparently.
To be honest, we were just talking about this in the car, me and Mindy. I really didn't pay attention to comedy like that, to be honest, until I just started being around you guys and, you know, doing the festival, doing the Comedy Girlfriend. My take on it now is totally different than where it was before. Because I did watch Jamie Foxx, Ricky Smiley.
big
Like,
names.
I liked people that made me laugh. Like, I can watch it over and over and over. So, like, just learning, like, the business side and the drama side. I didn't even know there was drama in comedy. But it's like, everything is so funny. Why you guys got so much beef?
Very
But
entertaining, isn't it?
yeah, I was like, oh God. So my level now is totally different. I respect it on a different level. Just learning it, because I'm a fashion person quickly before I'm anything. I know fashion. But like learning comedy, I'm in it. I like it.
Dope.
It's drama.
Hey.
Dope. Sean Morgan, did you check it out? Why the laughter, ladies?
Yeah, Sean. What's your take?
Nah.
You didn't check it out?
Nah, I didn't. I'm not. I not for any malice reasons. I just don't watch other people's work. I haven't since I became a comedian, and I probably will never again until I stop doing comedy.
Did you see
Because
any
I
takes?
feel like you get subconscious inspiration by watching other people. If you like it, 2 years from now, you'll think you wrote it. So I try not to watch other people. I will say this because y'all all making the same description, and I hope that comedy gets back to comedy, right? Storytelling is cool, but my question is this, right? If Chappelle wasn't Chappelle, like he didn't have this name, and he was doing this set of jokes and notes, would there be the same enthusiasm? Would it be the same whatever? Like it's no direct disrespect to anybody, because we've had this discussion. When you get more comfortable in life, your journey becomes different. But I think that's I don't want to say an excuse to not be as efficient, but what if everybody had that mentality? Jordan, like, oh, I dropped 30 before, so now niggas buying my shoes, I can just do 12 points a game because niggas is gonna still come out and see me. I feel like the same level of enthusiasm that got you there should be the same level of enthusiasm that you should continue to have. And, you know, from what I've heard, you know, he smoked a whole pack of cigarettes on stage and shit. Like, to me, that's all flex shit. I'm the GOAT, nigga. I can smoke and give you cans and drink and
part of it.
You know what I mean? No, it's not. There's no smoking inside.
If we start putting,
There's no smoking inside.
Sean,
You know how like
There's
you
no
have, you know how you
smoking
have
inside.
if what we
There
do,
is
At that level, you can do anything you want.
No smoking inside.
But you know how you can
Everybody
just
else got
have a
habits.
drink.
my nigga, if we start getting 5 million views an episode, you better believe, nigga, this shit's gonna look very different.
Listen.
This nigga Nas has a custom robe on every motherfucking time. Nigga not even went close to the set no more.
That's
Nigga, part of
different.
what we do is we roll.
Nah, it's different. That's you. So being fly
Eddie Water, other shit.
being fly is different than just being comfortable. And I think, and I've said it before, I really feel like some people are just too comfortable.
But you know
And-
how
and-
like
and-
you
and-
in that, you know how you in your element. You know, like imagine yourself.
He's
just-
not the only smoker, ma'am.
But you might, okay, like, okay, imagine in the club, in the club, right?
Did Mike Epps get comfortable and snort a line on stage?
What do you get when you,
like, nah,
knowledge,
that's not,
when you pull up
it's
to
a
the
place
sports
for
bar,
everything.
what you get at the sports bar? So you can.
Some scotch or something.
Some
if I pull up,
scotch.
that's what I do.
Right? And when you get in your scotch, what happens to you? Like
I
after
get nice and easy.
Get nice and easy.
You get relaxed.
And then you might make a drunk text or a drunk call. Not necessarily even drunk. Just,
Man, I don't know where you're going with this.
You know how they say. You know how they say. You know how you say you speak a sober mind when you have. So he was. The point is, he was in his element.
The point is,
agreed.
Everybody is explaining a storyteller. And that's fine to tell comedic stories. That's a monologue. That's fine. Mike Tyson did the same thing.
Okay.
But so I'm not, it's not a knock. But I just, when I hear people speak on a Chappelle special, they don't even talk about it in the same manner that they talk about something else. Do you know what the fuck y'all have said since I've sat here? And I have not seen it. None of you would have told me to see it. Nobody was like, nigga, that shit was hilarious. I couldn't breatve. I had tears in my eyes. I've not heard none of that description. I've heard brilliant. I've heard informative. I've heard all sorts of wonderful descriptions of how smart and witty.
What do you hear about Malcolm X?
Huh?
What do you hear about Malcolm X?
As far as what I heard, I'm a person who knows a lot about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey. I mean, what do you mean by
religion?
Mm-hmm.
But most people don't necessarily talk about how religious he was. You talk about like the political shit and the leader and the activist. I just think part of greatness sometimes is, first of all, everybody can't do what Chappelle do because motherfuckers don't want to read, they don't want to research, they don't want to do. I've seen enough comedy that I can hear it in your set. Mm-hmm. I can hear that you don't really want to write jokes that are very layered, right? Yeah. And you might have been this motherfucker 10, 15 years and you're still doing, I can call it slapstick shit, but you're not really going into your pen game for that. So I feel like what I saw off this special is, it was definitely funny. But I would say maybe an earthquake shit is funnier, but I'm more moved by what he did.
Exactly.
And that ain't no knock against earthquake.
And I'm not knocking him. This is what I'm saying, right? I'm a comedian that I tell people this all the time, and I've never said this publicly, but I'll say it publicly for the first time ever. I'm a comedian that writes a joke for two things to happen. If you're not that smart, it's still funny. But if you're smart, you really understand what I'm saying. It has to be for everybody. Like the lesbian joke that I got in trouble for, you know what I mean? People have actually stolen that joke or whatever. It's if you're not that smart, you understand that lesbians use dildos. You know what I mean? It don't take rocket science to understand that. But the flip side of that is the smart part about the joke is that, you know, the guys never use the strap-on vaginas over their asshole, which is kind of saying, hey, let's take a deeper look into what the fuck is going on.
I'm like, wow, really?
But I think he covered with the callbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I learned about what callbacks was on this show.
He's a great storyteller. Is
crazy.
I think Kevin Hart's a storyteller.
I think if you watch
I like him a lot. But like I said, we're using descriptions that's not even comedic.
I think if you watch this, you will be impressed.
I think I probably would
because he won't move off of his shit. But
I would be impressed. I never said that.
Okay,
this is
fair.
Chappelle is not a bad comedian.
Yep,
he's not a bad comedian. But what I'm saying is, in the grander scheme of shit, bro, if he was doing those sets in the improv with no name, he was a no-name comic lighting a fucking cigarette on stage at the improv and telling the same bits, would it have the same impact? It probably wouldn't.
Probably
not.
So
I'm just saying that sometimes you have to, okay, you the GOAT, everybody calling you the GOAT, you the shit, you get to smoke. But nigga, put the same level of enthusiasm behind it that you always had. That's the only problem that I would say that I have. Because if I'm watching a comedy show, I want to laugh. I don't want to learn what the fuck gentrification is.
Maybe
I
it's
feel
you're
that.
not. Maybe it's because you're not watching it as well. Because I feel like every star
you don't wanna
benefits.
learn about
When Beyonce tour,
gentrification.
motherfucking tickets go like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if Beyonce was
But
at
Beyonce is
the
also,
UIC forum. I mean, maybe they be on it like that and didn't have.
but
so,
Beyonce, I hate her music. I can say that publicly. But I will
once
also
again,
say,
you're in the
hold on.
motherfucking minority. But go ahead.
Hold on, but what? No, I feel like her music's not for me.
I
If I'm a
love
grown ass
Sean
man
so
singing about
much.
putting nigga shit to the left, that's not for me. But what I will acknowledge that I've seen a Beyonce performance and she is very energetic. She is dope.
She
She
puts on a
dances.
performance.
She absolutely does shit that most humans would probably pass out and die doing. And she do this shit like it's nothing. So that is talent on a whole nother level. So I don't even have to like the music to understand it. Damn, she killing this shit with the little,
So
oh, look at this
I'm
shit.
gonna ask you this
look,
before we
okay.
move on. We're
Go
gonna
ahead.
move on real quick. But Knowledge, do you think you saw a new and improved Dave Chappelle, kind of like to Sean's? Like if Sean was to watch it, do
He's
you
the
think
GOAT.
do you think
so
it was
he's
the
gonna do
same
GOAT shit.
Chappelle, or did you see a leveled up, like an energetic Chappelle?
So here's that's a great question, Mindy. Here's what I allow for. One, I allow for, and I live this way. I should be better than I was when I was 25, right? So I know Sean has a slow burn. He wasn't this night. That can happen. That should happen. Michael Jordan at 32 wasn't a dude at 22. 22 was raw as hell too. But he didn't have a 3-ball. He didn't have a back to the basket game. He improved. Still raw when he got into the league. You go back and watch Killing Me Softly by Dave Chappelle. Very funny shit.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful, etc. But I do see growth. I do see now he has social commentary then. He didn't have the platform. So I agree Killing Softly was just a special that came out. People checked out that without the platform. Now I get the platform piece, but that's what you work for as an artist, to get that heavy duty platform. So it reaches more people. I get more eyeballs. And so I wouldn't say like, I'm calling it brilliant based on where I'm at in my life, which I also think that people
Same.
get blind for. Like part of watching Michael Jordan is I was a fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hero shit that you do as a kid.
Accurate.
As a grown man, motherfucker damn to spin 500 times in dunk. And I'm like, man, that shit dope.
Can I ask this question? And this
Sure.
would be my end all question.
Okay, this is the last.
This
Sure.
would be my end all question, right? So if you're a comedian, right, or you are a fan of comedy, or you watching comedy, are you watching for the laughs? And if that's not the case, does being informative excuse you for not having the same level of laughter? Because that's what it sounds
I
like.
wanna
It's
laugh,
because,
personally.
I wanna
Because he
laugh.
said some smart shit, I'll only laugh every 9 minutes, and it's brilliant.
It's
But
hilarious.
if anybody else was to that same standard, if I did jokes and those, if I did the Laugh Factory, I can't use that same pace.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, I would bomb every time.
You don't have that privilege.
It's not about, no one should have the privilege, bro. Like Jordan said it better than anybody. He went out and he played the best that he could because these people are paying their money, so they deserve to see him at his best every time. Not what you've evolved into and all that shit. And now I can tell a joke.
I get what you're saying.
For like the Chappelle show, again, one of the funniest things I've seen. Killing Me Softly. I used to watch him in the 90s and early 2000s before I became a comedian. I'm not like, I really hate it because I've heard it more than once. Like I have some problem with Dave Chappelle, and I do not. I think that he's funny as fuck. However, I do think that we give him a pass that most motherfuckers don't get to have that pass. Nobody can really do one joke per 6-7 minutes and be called a GOAT, bro.
I respect that. If I pay $300 because I want to be up front to go watch Chappelle, and I paid my $300, I watched it, I left and I'm solid. Because I paid it for the entertainment. I traded my dollar to be entertained and enjoy the evening, right? And so if I got my lady on the side, I done paid $600.
So if I blow and start giving stock tips, would y'all say I'm the GOAT because you leaving with information?
If you make it funny, and I'll say this since we both know him, and early on when I was really involved in the comedy thing, for an example, like a Willie Lynch Jr., right? The fact that he is going to weave in a lot of information about health and this and that, etc.
Yeah.
It ain't something else. And again, when he's doing that, you're gonna trade away some of the just constant laughs. But for
I don't
me,
think so, bro.
you
I
can't.
don't
You
think
can't. You
so.
can't. It's hard to very much educate and then also be funny every 3 seconds.
Right.
Bill
Right.
Because at some
Cosby-
point you got to get information.
Bill
Cosby's a great
Cosby
storyteller.
himself
Go ahead.
is one of the funniest things ever recorded, bro. And it was the same shit, except it was more rapid fire. Like you can tell stories and like JB Smooth, early JB Smooth is a prime example of it, right? The hotel shit. When he said, nigga, when you a young comedian and you know he's informing people that it ain't as glamorous as people think it is, like it's fucked up. And he was like, you be in these hotels and motherfuckers will warn you. Like you can pace yourself to where it's still funny between the information.
All right.
But you don't have to take a 7-minute pause to get it out there. Like I know,
But if you're not
Uncle-
watching, I don't know how you can really. That's
Right.
why I was
No,
like,
I'm not
giving it to you in the
speaking
media
on
space.
Chappelle.
we gotta stick a pin, y'all. That's what we're gonna do. I encourage y'all to go back through season 3, season 2. Sean has a very valid point. And man, like I drive home sometimes like, man, but he kind of right. Like just watch it, give y'all opinion, man. This is why we love you, Sean.
We're going to
No,
clip that
I
up. We're going to
love
put
it.
the best of
We might have to
Sean.
come- the best of Sean,
versus
definitely.
Chappelle.
I love Chappelle, bro.
It's okay.
Like, I love Chappelle, and people think that I don't, and it's like, nah, it's not that I
Right.
don't. I know the Chappelle that most people don't know, and he's not. He's funny, but motherfuckers get comfortable.
Which is also very true
All
of why
right,
this
y'all.
show is necessary, is because we want to take those 2% of people in the world that are comics and focus on the 98%. And sometimes I just feel like you should listen to see what the 98% are doing. I
All
get
right,
that you have a different
let
lens.
Let me jump in, y'all. Let me jump in. And speaking of favorite Sean moments,
No,
let's get to season 3. Well, first I'll say this. What was everybody's favorite episode of season 3? We can start there.
I like the real one.
Okay.
Real was your favorite one.
Yeah, I like that one. I like
And
that.
expound.
I like that there was disagreement
Okay.
during this show. I was here,
Yeah.
Jay likes it.
front and center.
You like to smoke, huh, Jay?
Like to smoke.
I think that's what keeps it interesting.
Facts.
And of course, Mindy's intro draws me in a lot because there's a lot of things that I don't know about a certain comedian, and I'm just
appreciate
like,
that.
okay. But the last episode with Rel, Sean and Rel going back and forth about a subject, and they agreed at the end.
Yeah.
And then it made us go home and drive home like, Sean was
Sean
kind of
got a point a little bit.
right. So that was my favorite.
Definitely. Again, go back and watch.
I don't have a favorite me. That's crazy.
Why
Why
not?
Looking like I'm supposed to say something.
Go ahead, Sean. They
I don't-
already,
I don't have a
favorite.
favorite me moment. I think
Favorite episode. Did you say episode?
Favorite episode.
well,
Favorite
I
episode.
think if I in a weird way, I would probably have to say Sahar. I feel like she really tackled, she didn't play nice, and she really tackled some shit that needed to be said.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been here, right? And this ain't no direct jab at nobody, but I've had people call me and they be like, oh, I want to do the podcast. And then they'll get here and then they'll put a filter on. And it's like, none of the shit you talking about on the phone, you get here, you let me be the bad guy. Now on the phone,
So accurate.
we be the same shit. And then you got here and it's like you completely, you know what I'm saying? And
you
me being the
accurate.
type of nigga I am, I just don't say shit. But I'm like, nigga, what happened to this was a pussy ass nigga 2 weeks ago shit.
So Sahar can hold her own too.
Yeah.
You see it?
She been fighting in them comments.
Yeah, on the social media too. Like I said, what you
Look,
say she did, I said.
and it was very relevant. Everything she said was valid. You know, I just did a show not long ago, and I literally had to. When you have to tell people, like, listen, if you don't know who I am, that don't make me less funny, right? And when you got to tell people, like, listen, if you only laugh at people because you know them, you a dick rider.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't laugh at people because they're unfamiliar and you're not giving them a chance, you fucking hate them. There's no other way around that. Like, no one started popular. Kevin Hart didn't go on stage the first time and everybody, 5,000 motherfuckers came out. Nah, it was a grind. You have to build to a certain point. And people don't even understand, to the point of not trying to bring back Chappelle, but just to the point of people, myself, Lil Rel, everybody, when you don't have anything and you are trying to get it, that is the best version of you comedically you will ever be.
I get it.
Because them jokes is you trying to make that living, to prove to motherfuckers, I deserve 7,000 niggas in my shit too. So that is usually the comedian's best time, that best moment when you are there. And I think that everything that she said was valid as far as egos and different shit like that. It's like, followers don't equate to talent, it equates to income. But that shit a lot of these people are gonna understand a very hard lesson in 5 or 6 years what income taxes and property taxes and shit is, because it's all flowing in so rapidly right now that they don't understand that if you get a $500,000 house, even if you paid that bitch off, if comedy gets slow and you don't pay them taxes, guess who got a new house? The fucking government.
Me.
Yeah, right. Right. So somebody who do foreclosed shit, you know. But I'm glad she said it. I'm glad she lit that fire because, motherfuckers is comfortable. Chicago comedians known to be the funniest comedians in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They comfortable. I've seen niggas, and it's no disrespect if you can pull it off, but I've seen, like, I know M-Dubs, that's my man's. He told me he sits on purpose because he likes to, you have to be a very specific type of comedian to pull it off. So he tests himself by doing that. And I ain't mad at it. But then you got other people that have been piggybacking off of that shit. And it's like you sitting down really is an arrogant thing to do when you're a stand-up comedian. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You really have to be able to talk that shit.
Yeah. So him saying it publicly that he tests himself and that's why he do it, I can't really knock that shit. But it's people, he funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's niggas is sitting and it's like, nigga, you need to really be juggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically get their shit together, like Sahara says.
So KB, it's the same question for you, right? But when you set out for the theme of season 3, one, did you have a purpose to make it different from seasons 1 and 2? If so, who was the guest that you felt accomplished that differentiation?
Okay, Mindy, I see you. Pardon. I don't know if I want it to be different. I want us to get better at what we do, right? Part of it is us individually just getting better doing this in terms of podding, but then also viewership and reach, right? Like, I feel that for a comedian, what we're doing, we're not perfect. We have a lot of room for growth, but I think it's as good as it gets in terms of, if I'm a comedian and I want to hear from some of these people that have been in the game for a while and learn, I feel like there's no better platform to do it, right? There's plenty of people to take on comedians. Shannon Sharps and 7 p.m. Brooklyn will bring on comedians. But I'm hearing more of their stories. I'm hearing maybe how they came up, how they got started, which is cool, and that might be inspiring, but I don't know if I learn. I feel like this is kind of a masterclass if I'm a 2, 3, 4 year comedian, because I'm not going to be able to sit down with Guy Torry and have a conversation and get all he has to give. And so I love that we do that. Favorite episode or episode that really speaks to that, I don't per se look at it that way. I feel like we're putting together an album, right? So this is our 3rd album we're putting together. And so
I love that.
I want to have our singles. The singles, as I look at that, might be people who have reach, right? That people know, et cetera, and they want to check out. But then I feel like we got some of the joints that's your favorite, but it's never a single, right? Maybe it's a hard episode where I'm a comedian. I'm not in that space where I can sit down and talk with the club owner to understand how that person thinks. I feel like Sahar landed on that, right? I think for maybe some of our general audience, which is just a joint on the album that you like. It's like, man, that's flavorful, whatever. Like it's a favorite of yours. I feel like that's a Bob Sumner. For a regular person who checks this out, they don't know Bob per se like that, right? But to hear the background, all the people he touched, he's responsible really for what we know as urban comedy today. I felt like we did a lot in this season on this album, and it made it so like at the end as we finish up with the Evan Lionel, which was the 9th episode in this particular season, I felt like we gave you a full album. And so that's what I look to do. Each joint is to give you like, you finish the season, you're like, damn, it was a lot in there that I was able to take from.
I love that. I love that. So us as a pod, as a new pod, and we are in what most consider the Mecca of comedy. We are experiencing some changes in Chicago, such as the episode that y'all both are saying was one of y'all top Sahar. So why do you think, or if you think, that if we're in the Mecca and we're starting a comedy podcast and we're educating, learning at the same time, have we accomplished our maximum reach? I would say no, but why not? Why hasn't, and it's not to say that, I think we have, in such a short time, 31 episodes, come a very long way, but I'm being transparent here. Do we see what we want to see as far as interactions, as far as shares, as far as, hey, this was dope, as far as, man, thank you, as far as, hey, I see y'all, hey, man, we've been waiting on this, all of the above? Is it there the way that we expected it to be? I say yes, but I say that I would like to see more.
Yeah. Internet's a funny place, right? It's a real funny place. And when we put this together, the vision that I had is, this goes back to the What's Funny Comedy Festival, right? And the vision is, I'm sitting next to Sean every episode. So I've sat next to him 31 episodes. He's pretty consistent with what he thinks, where the opportunities have gone, where the industry has moved. And so when I came back to this space, one, it was to elevate comedy as a whole, but it was really to elevate like what I call the people in the middle, right? And that's no disrespect, et cetera. But those people that used to benefit from like Def Comedy Jam, Comic View. And to Sean's point about a platform, if Sean, if there was Def Jam, whatever, he's going on and he's crushing, he's getting standing O's. He does the same comedy show he's always done, but the joint is full. Mm-hmm. It's packed, right? Because he's popping, and that's how people operate. Like when doing this was something at the end of the day that I knew it'd take a while to pop, because we are virtually unknowns to the people, right? At the end of the day. And then the content we create is not a lot of content to create beef, to create, a lot of shit, per se, kind of the way that Shannon Sharp initially did. Maybe wasn't trying to do it, but that's just what ended up happening.
I get you.
And then we were all new podcasters, right? Like even when I look at some of those that, when you don't have a name, right? People don't know you.
100%.
And you pod, there's a certain energy. There's a certain wild takes, right? Like if I just went in on wild takes and called names and all that motherfucker garbage, trash at, it work. But that ain't who I am. I ain't gonna really perform like that to get some more clicks. Because even if I get that audience, that ain't really my audience unless I'm just going to be that person from now on, in terms of this is who this dude is on the internet, is that, Bubba, that you're trash. That's not really, that ain't, you right. When I go outside, the motherfuckers expecting that, like, man, you ain't like that. because I ain't like that. And so I'm not necessarily performing in that way. And so I just knew it would be a longer path for us. And then there's also going to be a certain audience, like it or not. We can also, as brilliant as we said, the Dave latest especially is you can put that on in front of some people and they like, that shit garbage. Like I ain't laughed one time. It don't mean it wasn't good. It's just that's not their thing. And so we're going to have to find our tribe, and it needs to expand from comedians, because there are still only so many comedians, even though there's a lot, to the general public. So I think that's going into season 4. That's what I'm trying to think is that person who, Jay, right? Jay's the person, right? Like, it's cool. I like to laugh, but I ain't really checking for that. I ain't going to comedy shows. How do we get Jay to care a little bit more? And that's the process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I would respond.
I love it. I asked you that for a reason.
Oh, okay.
Sean, are you happy, disappointed, surprised at your reaction to your performance, your perspective, that you so insightfully provide every show? But the people that have watched you, how do you feel they have taken to the show? You're in the comedy world. You're in the comedy game. Would you like to see more from your peers?
This is what I think. I think that for anything to get off the ground, it needs to push. I've seen some people, I think Ryan reposted some stuff. I've seen Guy repost some stuff. But overall, I think that there has been more people who filmed this and did not say anything than actually made a push. So this is, if you're a guest, this is so that we can reach your fan base as well. You know what I mean? And I think that I have not seen that a lot. That in 31 episodes, I don't think that I've seen 31 people push it, right? I think that, and it's just society in general, right? If you on fire, people will rather record you than call for help. So because of that mentality, I think that if this show pops to the level that everybody want to see, everybody making money, and this is the Shannon Sharp shit with actual comedians and people in the comedy realm, it's recognized that everybody gonna double down and acknowledge that they were part of it in the beginning, but they're not really doing anything to help to push it. Do that make sense?
It makes absolute sense.
So if we get that push, I think that it'll be better. Am I happy, sad, or whatever? Like, I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything that I have said. I don't regret who I am as a person. But I would like to see the same level of enthusiasm when I praise people than when I don't.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, if I've said multiple people name on this show who I feel like are incredible comedians that don't get, they just do. And I haven't gotten that call. But if I say that this person mid, I get every phone call. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that moving forward, people understand that this isn't tea. If it was tea, knowledge knows better than anybody that I could really body niggas' careers if that's what I wanted to do. But that's not what this is for. You know what I mean? And I don't fight evil and hate with hate. You always fight it with love and perseverance. And so I don't say anything with the intent of malice. So if Dave Chappelle sees me, I hope he don't think that I'm trying to be malicious. I'm just saying, nigga, I've seen you at a better space as a comedian. I want that old nigga that talked about Monica Lewinsky. Let's get this nigga back in here. You know what I mean? And it's not to be disrespectful. It's not to be whatever. But I just think that I'm still the same level of funny 25 years later that I was when I started, if not funnier. And I have ascertained probably, a certain level of success. I mean, I did enough, you know what I mean, that I could have been like, well, I'm fucking who I want to fuck, and I got a couple cars and got a 6-bedroom house. I could really be on some goofy shit too.
Hang
But
your boots up now.
yeah, but I even when we did the Robert Townsend shit, right? My hands was shaking before I went on that stage. And they was like, well, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nigga, I'm nervous. Nigga, this is Robert Townsend. Yeah, I'm quote unquote Sean Morgan. Nigga, I still look up to motherfuckers too. I still care about stuff too. I want to perform well in front of this dude. He's a part of my comedic being. Yeah. So it just, hopefully, I know the one episode, people got pissed off at what I said as far as why shit happens the way that it is, but it is. That's just what it is, man. When Jay-Z came out, I'm gonna keep this as brief as possible, but this just show you the mentality of people, right? Let's go to Tupac and Biggie. A lot of people don't know, but Biggie was in Thug Life, right? And so this nigga literally took the title Ready to Die. That was Tupac's album before Me Against the World, right? So he went from partying bullshit to being ready to die like a nigga that he been around, right? Get killed in one album. And people compared this nigga to this other nigga that he completely took his being from. Now, the point that I'm making with that is when you are, Tupac was charismatic, chicks liked him, he doing movies with whatever, Janet Jackson and shit like that. So niggas don't really want to see that win. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Biggie, they'd rather give it to this nigga because he's hope. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I too get to some money and get the cheese, eggs, and Welch's grapes, I give me a face. I could do different shit. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is who they want to see get the W, because most people feel like they are more in that nigga's category than in this category. If that makes sense.
Yep, you absolutely.
So I think that once this becomes, I mean, I've had people that admittedly say they've stolen topics from this show. I've had niggas tell me to my face, oh, nigga, we definitely talked about that. More than one time. So we just, hopefully we become the Biggie nigga and,
No, that boy's he's partner.
we get the props.
So speaking
So
of
real quick before you jump in, so to that I'd like to say we're going to have success, right? There's various levels. No, I know you ain't
no
saying
doubt
that,
about
but
it.
I'm saying there's various levels of success. But this is kind of an American thing too, because if you look at it, the space we're playing and who we really are for is where the most comedians are.
Yep.
Right. So like most comedians won't get to Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Rock. They won't get to that level, but that's what they'll support. They'll reshare those.
Yep.
This, which is built for them. Right. So you would think like, hey, at the end of the day, you probably will never get to Shannon Sharp's couch. Right. So that's cool. You may get to this couch. Right. You may get to that seat. So at the end of the day, when you talk about like support, but that's the American public too, when they vote. Vote for the shit that actually matters to you and probably is going to impact your life or potentially could impact your life. But most times people don't. Right. They're voting for all other reasons. And so if we truly win, it'll be because people realize like where the most people are, that's our podcast, right? That's the podcast for us that impacts me the most, et cetera. And so I think it'll happen. And then shout out to cats like, I think Ryan Davis dropped a joint for us on here when he came via Sean, who put that together and had him come through. But the one thing I remember, he's like, man, like this is kind of what it takes, because Ryan Davis is having great success. Shout out to the special he has on, he produced, created, self-funded, that's on Ali Sadiq's network, et cetera. But he's like, usually cats don't really partner like this until they kind of at the same level, right? When we got Ryan, he wasn't, we're a new pod. And so generally, you won't mess with us. So at the end of the day, we in Chicago, we connected, we plugged in. So shout out to Lil Rel, right, for coming through. and checking because
100%.
this is not the biggest. He's also doing 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and he's doing Joy Taylor. He's doing these big podcasts, but he pulls up here to give us a 2-hour pod.
Yep.
Right? Now the question is, will maybe some of our other guys, right? Dion, will they pull up? They don't have to, right? Because this pod isn't going to necessarily take them to another place. So when they doing it, they'll be doing it more like, no, this is the home team, good pod, etc. But this is sometimes where the disconnect happens, is because we can't get them until we get to a certain level, then cats pull up on you, right? So we'll need those types of, and that's just, I named them because it's Chicago.
Yeah.
But we're going to need some of those to help accelerate us as well. And all we can do is keep doing what we're doing.
So you get out exactly what the intention was. Keep going from there, and we will close after this. How exactly do you go about booking the guests? How have they come about? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Do they show excitement? Hey, I have seen it. I want to come on. Or do you do more outreach to book the guests for us on the show?
So I'm going to kick it over to Sean. Both him and I have been kind of in the space for some time, right? He's just me from one side of the equation, him from he's in it. And so he's been responsible for booking a number of the guests have come on in terms of making outreach, et cetera. So I'd love to see how you're doing it, Sean. Do you think about who you're reaching out to, who would be good guests based on what you know, et cetera? Kind of what's that look like for you?
So it's, honestly speaking, it's 50-50. Some people I've had to call because I knew they was in town and be like, hey, jump down. And then there's been people who have asked. I mean, it's people who haven't even been on here that have been asking to come on here consistently. So I think it's my relationships with people that's kind of coercing them more than anything, because I'm not a person that put my name or time into a lot of stuff. So if I do, people kind of believe in it with me. You know what I mean? So that most of the comedians do watch it. Obviously, that's why I get so many witch hunt phone calls. But it's somebody watching the motherfucker. Unless it's one nigga telling everybody. Yeah, so they watch it. A lot of people have expressed that they were happy to be on here and be able to get certain things off their chest and boost a certain amount of awareness. Because again, the show is not meant to degrade, berate, be disrespectful to anybody, but it's a comfortable space, and it's a space that people should be able to come here and tell their truth. And I know that this will happen in the future because I'm emphasizing it in the future. But I'm going to make people be the same people that they were on that phone here. Mm-hmm. And if not, it's going to come out either way.
What to expect for season 4, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to get specific, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to people say shit that I know not true. But I have to allow it because who the person may be, or, you don't want to come off like you hating, but at the same time, it's like, I've literally, some people have said some pretty interesting shit that I know is exactly the opposite of what shit is. And they're like, yeah, of course, I got tons. I do charity events. Like, you're a fucking liar. You're lying. I watch niggas ask you for money and you tell them get the fuck out your face. Now you charitable.
So we didn't.
So let me answer that real quick. So I threw it to Sean. So for anybody checking this out, it's a process. Like, again, just where we go through this, I talked about like putting together an album or what have you. I know Sean's brought people to me, and when I'm saying not yet, right? It's a at the end of the day, we're trying to create a successful podcast, right? We're trying to create a successful media company. We have a new show coming, right? Q1, that will, again, go under this umbrella of the What's Funny Comedy Media Company, where we're creating these digital products. And so a big part of it is for the audience, right? We're trying to find things for the audience, but we're also trying to serve a purpose too with elevating like Black comedy. And so when I think about somebody, I've had somebody like, yo, I need to get on the pod. I'm first going to think, what story are you telling? Right? Because we got to be able to pull something out. And I don't want it to be redundant where it's like, okay, it's you. Because we're not a podcast that says, hey, Jay, tell me where you got started. Tell me. We don't necessarily do the life story. We're going to get into conversations, et cetera. So if we've had 4 people who profile like you that might have been in the game for 30 years, we're going to kind of hear a similar story. You telling it, but it's a similar story. And so if you've been in the game for a year, I don't know what story you have to tell yet, right, per se. But it's fair because we haven't had anybody that young. So then I may start to look, you've been in for a year, but damn, you got 70,000 followers. So you can actually, okay, so here's a story we're probably going to try to get you to tell what it's like there. But you also got 70,000 people that you can reach to. You got certain engagement, et cetera. And so there is a bit of a formula. I think that, like most things, some people can fill away because we haven't pulled them. But there's work that needs to be done, right? This is being done with cameras and lights, et cetera. And so I got to be responsible to the team to try to bring the best person on that's going to help us reach our goal.
Absolutely.
And so those are the components that I look at, and I know that you can fill away if you're a person that says, hey, that can help me, or I'd like to pull up. But I also do check, to Sean's point, Guy has reshared us, right? There's certain people that are on that I do collaboration videos with, right? And they collaborate with their audience. I think Ron G just sent something and reposted something. We did him a season ago. Right? But he just sent something out. And so again, it's a partnership, right? And I've had partnerships in this space in many areas, right? I remember when I had Outriggers, right? Which is a comedy club in Chicago and Orland. And I did that for 4 or 5 years. And I remember certain things too, but part of what made that difficult is I was an 80-person room, which then just goes to kind of comedy and the comedians. The shit is difficult because, one of the things that, people say shit about Rel, I'm always a little, I push back some because he's one of the very few people that I found that partner well.
Yep.
Right? Like in terms of like, we get into the cubby hole, we kind of do this shit together, et cetera. A lot of people are like, what can you do for me? Thanks, cool. It's like, damn, you ain't really shoot shit back. You just kind of took, right? I remember running Outriggers and cats would hit me. I have my show booked. It's an 80-person room. I'm not a super dope promoter in terms of getting asses in the seat. So I'm only generating so much. And at this time, this is 100% of what I'm doing. And so doing a Friday, Saturday show, I got to live off this. Doing some real estate stuff too, but this needs to be able to help me live. And I'd have my show booked and I have cats hit me like, yo, Knowledge, they're going to cut my phone off, man. Can I come do a guest spot or whatever? But they're not coming to do it for the love. They're coming to do it for the bread. And there's so many times that I would do that and give a cat $50. That's money out my pocket. The show is already booked. Adding you is not going to add any more ticket sales or revenue. But I put them on and not a motherfucking post goes up about they're actually performing at that show. Like, that is very fucking selfish. And that's lack of partnership. So when I do things like the festival, this, that, there ain't really no benefit in me partnering with you because it's not like you're going to shoot my ticket sales through the roof. So now that comes down to how do you partner, right? And so I think just, again, kind of going back to what Ryan Davis said, Rel pulling up, like there's certain, to make this win for everybody, when you get something like this where we're not comedians, we're just people trying to add to the community, the culture, et cetera. It's a necessary part if we're going to be successful at the end of the day. And so that's what we'll continue to go through. But we're building something uniquely special. And although we're based in Chicago, it'll impact the entire community. And I think that people from afar, et cetera, appreciate what we're doing. So again, just appreciate all of you all. And thank you to all of you all, because again, we're one of one. Right? Like in terms of what we're doing, how we're doing it, who we're doing it for. And so I think that's important.
And I wanna just say this real quickly in regards to that, because I heard about this and I I want to address it real fast. If your name has not been selected to do the podcast or the festival, it is not as personal as some of y'all are taking it. I've had people like, well, I feel like, and it's like, listen, we remember who we see. That's just what it is. That's why I make it a point that if I'm out on Wednesday, I'll go to Leon's spot. It ain't because, you out of sight, out of mind. So a lot of people take it personally. You don't come outside and we don't see you. And then, whatever. And then there was a lot of ego. I shouldn't have to submit a tape. Well, I mean, most people did. And if you feel like you're above the tape, then I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And some people looked at that as arrogant because I told people that. It's like we did a show one time and a person said, and I was there, and they said, well, he ain't paying me enough to do this. And I looked at him, I was like, so who is he paying enough to do it then? Right. Because if you comparing you to me, nigga, if I'm here, nigga, you've done none of the shit that I've done. So, like, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people need to get off the high horse and get off the soapbox and understand that all that shit ain't personal. It's not personal. And eventually we'll get to you. Eventually we want to get to everybody. Yep. But right now, like Knowledge said, if you got 500 followers and I got 500 followers, what the fuck? Only 1%, 10% gonna see the other 100 motherfuckers. Like, so of course we need a Ryan Davis and people. It's at least people from out of town at the moment that can bring their audience from somewhere else that can kind of hit different algorithms. We had Torry from Philly, so now Philly niggas seeing it. Ryan Davis, right. You need that shit. We can't just do everybody in Chicago. Like, so I think that a lot of people take that shit a little more personal than it is.
Well, you guys are talking about everything that I definitely feel needed to be addressed because the why behind why we are here is most important, and that's going to carry us through infinity, through a lifetime, because we have a why. I'm rapping, but I didn't get to say, I just want to point out that the live episode was my favorite. We all got excited, but the live episode was my favorite. I encourage y'all to go back and watch that. One, for the education. You got Bob Sumner and you got Rel. Definitely takes you back to Martin Lawrence, Bill Bellamy. It's a great episode to watch. And two, our producer, Amon, we shout him out, but I really want to shout him out because he has leveled up season 3 for us. Y'all see that 4K and those clips that we pushing out, like it's just been crazy what our producer. So let's give it up for our producer, Amon, has been rocking and rolling with us. Let's give it up to also our comedy girlfriend. We have been extremely, Knowledge has been extremely, the producer has been extremely intentional about the production that they're trying to bring. A lot of these, of you all as comedians, y'all promoting your own shows and it's somebody else out here now helping you out. So we just hope that, the love is always reciprocated. We love no matter what. We love comedy. This is for comedy. We love Chicago. This is based in Chicago. KB, you want to let us know, let the people know about how to stay locked and loaded with the IG page and the YouTube, and it's a wrap.
For sure. So remind me, but I think you just hit on something like super, super important. It kind of goes back to, I sent you all something today about, how do you pronounce it?
Landon Brown?
No.
Ennis Mitchell.
Ennis Mitchell.
Ennis.
All right, y'all got it. So, but my man was the owner of the Comedy Union, which was one of the very, very few black comedy clubs in LA, right? And so you also knew about Jokes and Notes, which we've talked about a ton here, which was in Chicago. You had, I think, what was Philly? The Laugh House or something like that. I think that was black owned. Yeah, there might have been something in like North Carolina.
Yeah, that was the House of Comedy.
House of Comedy. So not a lot of black-owned comedy clubs across the country. But one of the things is when you get folks like, what's his name? Ends.
Ends. Like ends.
Ends.
The
All right.
ends to the means.
Ends.
Yeah.
When you pull the ends out, the Marys out, those are unique people. I think this is my thought to comedians watching. These are unique people because they're not comedians.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get people that are more focused on the business, the success of something, they create platforms, right? And so although those platforms don't necessarily put money in your pocket today, they're important for your industry. And so when those fall, then it leaves it up to you all as a comedian to now become comedian, producer, maybe comedy club owner. It puts a lot on your plate, right, to be able to do. And so I think that's why you see some of these infrastructures falling. And then you essentially have to fall back to places that maybe don't care about, yeah, you can go get a comedy spot and they sell fucking tacos and allow you to do comedy. They really don't give a fuck about comedy. They're a taco spot. And we need some people in here. So come tell some jokes. But there's a lot that they won't do because it may cost, they may put the lighting right or the sound right. They don't care about that. I don't care what you do, right? They playing bingo over here, whatever. Like, do your comedy right here because we want it all to be able to eat. And so those are not great spots. And so when people like Amon, like you, like Jay, like Sean, put their time together to be able to create a platform that helps your industry, don't sleep on that because it doesn't directly put money in your pocket. Because as these things get bigger, get larger, et cetera, they actually may help you 2 years from now. But if we don't get to the 2-year mark because you decided not to put the reshare, even though you'll reshare a bunch of other things, it's chess. It ain't checkers. And trust me, at the end of the day, most times you want to elevate platforms like ours versus maybe other platforms that don't really speak to you. And so, so I want to say that piece. In terms of checking us out, make sure that you follow our main page, which is at What's Funny Comedy on Instagram. It's What's Funny Comedy on Facebook. That is the main page for our comedy umbrella. But specifically for this show, it's at What's Funny Today Show on Instagram. Make sure that you follow us on there. And then also on YouTube, make sure, again, that you follow What's Funny Comedy. You can find the link on our What's Funny Today Show Instagram. Check that out. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment, get involved, because at the end of the day, this is what we do, right? We're elevating Black comedy. And again, just appreciate all of you all for being along on the ride and contributing to what we're trying to build. And I'm excited about what the festival and everything is going to do in terms of helping so many people today that don't have the platform, as Sean always speaks to, maybe get the platform through our vehicle. So,
Indeed, no place we would rather be. And it is a wrap. See you at season 4.